Welcome to the Daily Divine Feminine Astro-Intuitive. I am Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and alchemical initiatrix. We're going to get into the chart for the weekend. I hope you all are doing amazing. I hope that the Light Goddess podcast has been uplifting and encouraging and inspiring for you. This is the chart for Saturday. The moon had a conjunction with Capricorn yesterday, as it was leaving Capricorn at the end of the evening, and really feeling out the emotional boundaries and edges of your power. Could have been a little bit of a funky time last night, and wanting you to connect with your power and powerlessness. Where are you powerless in your life? Powerlessness is being the victim, is learned helplessness, is every area where you don't think you can create the life that you want. That's where you're feeling powerlessness. It's important to make these distinctions of understanding. It's not that you actually are powerless, but it's all of the unhealing. It is the areas where you don't feel like you can create the life you really desire, or that you don't feel like you can create the business you want, or that you don't feel like you can do this project in your business, or you don't feel like you can get the clients, or you don't feel like you have the right to be doing card readings, or you don't feel like that you are intuitive, or you're not connecting, or you're unwilling to go travel, even though that's what you really want to do. A lot of it is realizing that we have to be on the adventure and the journey with it. Aquarius is really about innovation. So Saturn in Aquarius, now the moon's in Aquarius and is going to meet up with Saturn and this weekend. And so it's like the Aquarius is about innovation. It's about new things, about what we haven't explored before. It's about worlds we don't know. It's about the outer worlds. It is unique. It is different. It's interesting. It's unconditional change. Aquarius is Uranus, so it's that unconditional change. It's the unique opportunities for rebirth. It is things that you don't know yet. Like with Uranus, wherever Uranus is in somebody's chart, that's where you're not gonna be able to predict anything in their chart. And so with Uranus and Taurus, it's like where we can't predict anything. And it's the unpredictable. So if we want to use this Aquarius energy, which we must, this is the world we're moving into. Aquarius is unity through diversity. So it's being the diverse self that's not like other people. You don't have the same shoes as everybody else. You don't wear the same clothes as everybody else. You don't have to have a Coach bag like everybody else. You don't have to have a label as everybody else does, because then that means you belong. That means you fit in. That means you have success, supposedly, that's some symbol of success. Our money conflation is really rampant. Like, we conflate money with success, while we also too want to have money. It's both these two disparate things. We have to realize there's a distinction between thinking money means success and therefore being unwilling to have less money and go for our soul mission and have our whole world standard of living and all these things being dramatically altered with Uranus and Taurus, like where we feel security, what we think security is, getting it from the inside rather than the outside, and all the material possessions and the house and all of that, and being unwilling to let go of these standards of living that are just spells, they're cages keeping you imprisoned, to create a completely radical different life that you actually really love and really want, and allowing it to be something that's built, that it's not built in one day. Say you're going to build a house and say you have unlimited money, that house is not going to be built in one day. And so it's really understanding that exactly that you would still not be living there instantaneously. You'd still not have the house instantaneously. So it's this with building your dream life. It's living this dream every moment by being creative and doing things you've never done before. Uranus, Aquarius is exhilarating. It is high. It's the elevator to this better, amazing place. And so with Chiron and Aries, it's this way that we that we are used to experiencing our identity conflated with money, all this money coming up with all of these planets in Taurus. We have the sun in Taurus at 3 degrees today, about our belief systems around security and around money and around our beauty and our self-worth. And so like how we feel valuable to the world, how we feel valuable in our groups, how we feel valuable to other people, how we feel valuable to existing at all. Some of us have really like existence wounds, like where we don't feel like we deserve to exist. And this Pisces can bring up that. And so with this, with this, with this, you know, square from the moon to the sun, it's asking us to look at our emotions and look at how we feel abundant, how we feel beautiful, how we feel like what we're determined upon. Like, are we determined to stay in the money spell and to have money be the goal of our life? It's this underlining goal in everything we do rather than soul being the goal. Because if soul is not your goal, then you're not aligned. You're not spiritually aligned. You're not aligned to your soul. I mean, if you think about it, if soul is not your goal and your life isn't driven by your soul and for your soul, and you're not working for your soul, you're not living for your soul, you're not doing what your soul calls you to do, then you're not aligned and you'll never be aligned. And so you won't be creating the world you really want. All of your actions will be in vain in creating paltry things, if anything at all. When you don't feel like you matter, all this Taurus energy, then you won't do things that matter, that are of consequence in this world, that help change the world. All of us light goddesses are changing the world together. That's what the Light Goddess Sisterhood is about. It's open now. You can come in. That we're going to be having soul mission calls so that you can feel like you're witnessed and seen in what your mission is, and you can be really witnessed in your mission, and have women wrapped with attention really hearing about what you feel like your puzzle piece of this whole puzzle that we're all working on together is, so we can all support each other in our missions and what we're doing. And so the links below the video, please come in. It's going to be powerful. The first moon ceremony is on June 14th. Don't worry about if you can't make something. There's plenty of things going on all month for you to be a part of. So it's really going to be a powerful time and a powerful experience. So we have all this Pisces energy, which is asking us to be in the dream. And if we're creating the dream, Mars creating, taking action on our dream, on our imagination, what we're imagining into being, everything that becomes matter is first imagined. It's first not matter. It's first spirit. So nothing in matter exists without it being spirit first. Venus is asking you to open up to your abundance of spirit, your soul, which means you have to look at things differently than you're looking at it, because, you know, Saturn Aquarius is very cerebral. It's the way we look at things and from all angles and very complex. And it's getting out of that South Node psychodynamic, psychodrama complexity and that magnifying glass out and like going to the depths of things that don't matter, and instead going in just to the pure divine spiritual energy of Jupiter, which is happy, throwing the party, having the, you know, so much going on, being on the adventure and exploring your soul life, exploring your soul calling, exploring your adventure, like being on this adventure in life. Instead, you could easily, with these energies, get very busy and distracted in this mundane matrix world, what other people are doing and pulling you in all the time, and all these distractions, and then appeasing and placating because you're actually really upset underneath because you're not doing what your soul is wanting you to do and be on the adventure, which would force you to change, would force you to be uncomfortable, would force you to grow. So this Vesta is holding the sacred altar for Aquarius, for your highest frequency, and asking you to keep that highest frequency as the most sacred thing inside, and like what calls you to your joy. All this Pisces energy is helping us be in the joy, but it could easily be excessive alcohol, excessive escape, excessive pot, excessive drugs, excessive going out, excessive distraction, excessive like doing nothing. Pisces can just be like this excessive like sleeping, like just being and doing nothing really. And so with Mars here, it's like take action on your soul. And the North Node in Taurus, of course, is at 22 degrees, is this quantum Taurus about your determined self-value, determined to claim your self-value in this world and take up space in that. And the sun's here, it's like take up space in your self-worth, believing in that, knowing it, claiming it, like acting it out. Here's the thing, is it doesn't just change and happen and heal. We have to actually go on the journey of it. That's the only way it changes and heals, is like doing it. So only by doing your business will you figure out how to do your business. But you know, Saturn and Aquarius can just be thinking about the business forever, but only by actually taking the steps will you figure out the step. Like truly, that's the only way you do it. The only way you get better at something is by doing it. You don't get better by thinking about and trying to figure out how to do it better. You only get better by doing it. And then of course you can think about it as you're doing it and tweak it, but you only understand what the hell to tweak and change and how to get better by doing it. Like a painter is only going to make the many masterpieces. First of all, we don't just make one masterpiece. Everything's this masterpiece, and the only way we make the masterpiece is by making many pieces. So we have to do it. So we have to do it and do it over and over and over and over and over again. And then that's how we develop our skill and our craftsmanship and see our value and heal weird things that limit and stop us and inhibit us. And Mercury has passed over the North Node and is sitting at 22 degrees with the North and South Node here opposite the South Node. And so Mercury is talking to us about what we over dramatize, what we're like private eye detectives about other people and relationships and what they're doing and all the dramas that we're up in, instead of being on the North Node, on our soul mission for humanity right now, which is building and growing things of value, things of worth, making creations for beauty, for love, for the divine feminine, for what really matters in this world, for this here and now moment, like building something, like building the house, instead of sitting in Scorpio South Node and psychologizing about all the other people that are building houses and what are they doing and why aren't they doing it, or what are they doing, or why are they doing that, and why don't you have the relationships that can help you build the house, and why don't you have this and that and all these things. Instead, it's just building the house and realizing that that beautiful energy will allow all the people to be magnetized to you that want to partner and build with you. So Mercury has really talked to the nodes and the sun and Uranus all in Taurus and gotten all of this information about a determined worldview, a determined communication of value, of worth, of beauty, of abundance. And so Mercury is going to be on the other side of the nodes and traveling this whole area and giving us a lot of information this weekend. So going into, that is on 1 hour. Let's go days. Going into Sunday, the moon will be right there close to Saturn conjunct and talking to Saturn. So it can feel a little bit, down. It can feel a little bit like mean or crass or cruel or exact or just pressurized. But understand that the moon is wanting to get the information, and will be squaring the North Node and squaring Mercury, and is like wanting to have that emotional understanding of this higher frequency of what you're building for humanity and what you're connecting to. Aquarius is about connection, and it's also about a vibe match, like, so disconnecting from what you don't vibe with. So it's like, is this a vibe match? Nope. Okay, out. Aquarius is impersonal. It's just like, nope, we're done, we're not a vibe match. Next. Nope, we're done, we're not a vibe match. Next. It's like understanding that you got to get the 90 no's to get the 10 yeses out of the 100, right? It's like you, like you have to deal with the emotion of rejection to keep going, to get those 90 no's so you can get those 10 yeses, right? You have to keep going, whether it's trying to make new friends, whether it's trying to get clients, whether it's trying to build community or submit a project to get a yes. You might have to submit it to 20 to 100 publishing companies to get 10 yeses that you choose from, and you have 90 no's. So you got to get through those no's. And so you also have to deal with the emotions of the no's. You have to deal with, and the moon in Aquarius is like impersonally, like not taking it personal and dealing with your own emotions of understanding, like, of course you might feel rejection or insecure or whatever. Those are all just emotional resonances. You're not actually that. It doesn't mean anything. So what are you making those things mean, instead of just moving through those emotions with emotional skill set, which you do in Alchemical Goddess, my 3 and 6 month coaching programs, where you will build emotional skills to move you through emotions that keep you stuck. And we have Jupiter moving further away from Neptune, and Venus is moving towards Neptune and into this conjunction. And so there's a lead up to this conjunction between Venus and Neptune. It can be a lot of delusion, a lot of not understanding things. It can be like thinking that everything is amazing when you're not actually taking action to create it itself. It's more of like this dream in your mind and like living in this fantasy of it all, instead of Taurus, like building and creating it. Mercury is saying communicate what you're building and creating. The North Node is saying create it, build it, believe in yourself. And Uranus is saying like innovate. You got to do it differently. You got to do it different than you think. You got to stay determined on innovation. You got to stay determined on uniqueness, on your unique identity of who you are, on being a maverick, being a rare avis, being a unique true self, being you as fuck, like who you are. That's not like anybody else. We already got all the other people. It's really boring to be like other people. Like we need you. Like what's your original unique transmission? The sun will be at 4 degrees, really asking you about where you feel like you're trying to fit in, instead of just being you and letting people fit into you. Like let people fit in with you, be you, and let the people that are meant to be there come in. And when you let go of all that you're trying to do, things will just flow in and you back off. It's kind of like rhythm and blues. A blues drummer backs off the beat. He or she is not right on the beat. She is backed off of it. And that's what makes that particular vibe. And so it's like back, like the ego and mind wants to be on it and know the plan, and it's got to plan it and know the timing, and won't do it unless it's just right. And that's like Chiron and Aries. Like we're really being forced to look at all of that within ourselves. And Black Moon Lilith is asking you to really look at how you're sitting in the shadow that needs transformed, the shadow of ideas, the shadow of communication, the shadow of not communicating, not sharing your ideas, not seeking truth, not being truthful with yourself, and facing the realities of your own shadow that's holding you back, where you're feeling powerless and not creating your world. This is a big deal right now, that anywhere you feel powerless, you won't be creating your world. You'll be creating reasons why you can't create. And it's what we unravel in Alchemical Goddess, my coaching program. We unravel the things that inhibit you. We have Jocelyn, she who persists. So it's about perspective, getting perspective. It's like, what is your reason for continuing? This Taurus energy is dogged, determined, focused, but is it dogged on the right things? We have a Taurus moon, you can be really dogged on the wrong things. So are you really determined on the right things? Because Taurus won't stop. Taurus will just keep going. So you want to know it's on the right things, that it's on soul and not on money. It's on soul and not on status, belonging, fitting in. My hair is just crazy right now. So I'm gonna go get some color and see. I'm like traveling. I'm like in a different city every day, so it's like I can't really count on somebody else to do it. So I'm gonna see if maybe I can keep it up on my own. We'll see. I got Makita, she who sees, observe, perceive, scrutinize. Like she sees through the darkness. She sees through the illusion. She sees through the deception. She sees through her own shadow. Is a very dark card, right? But it's very light up here, and she's very dark in the eyes. Like she sees through her own shadow. that is holding her back, that we often need coached and helped and supported on that journey, because it's not easy to heal the shadow, and it's not the easiest stuff to look at, how like we're not taking responsibility for our own lives. And we have Regina, she who instigate, with the serpent, which the serpent is a sacred symbol of the goddess. It's about renewal and cyclical renewal. And it's a powerful symbol of the spiral of nonlinear energy, and the spiral and the coil that is within women, that we are spiral and cyclical. She has horns, and it's like she instigates leadership, provocation, power. It's provoking, it's provocative. It's that she instigates change, she instigates claiming her power, standing in her leadership, being powerful, being seen and heard in this world, not being afraid to be who she really is, and taking action to create what she wants to create in her business and her soul mission in life. And we have Pearl, she who rises up, empower, uplift, and elevate. And so this is exactly what we do as Light Goddess. This is what it's all about, is planting seeds with other people to encourage them, to help them come out of fear, to help them move into the light, to help them bring levity, to bring levity, light, to bring, sweetness, to bring, one of my favorite songs, it's like, to give you just a little sweetness, just a little light. So it's just like this, this bringing this upliftment, encouragement, and inspiration to humanity. That's what we do as Light Goddess. And realizing that you are the one that's helping all the others that are in the dark. That's what you're meant to do. And so it's like, get out of your own shadow and face it, so you can heal that, so you can be this bright light that you're meant to be. Zenith, she who prepares, formulates, strategize, devise. But this is really careful what I was talking about, right? It's like there's a distinction. Prepares as in being resourceful and understanding that the preparation is your connection to source, to spirit, that the preparation is your time journaling and being in stillness with your feminine self, being well exercised, well fed, well slept, cleaning your space, and those things that nourish your soul help you feel together, prepared, able to move on. Like, that's the type of preparing we're talking about. We're not talking about not taking action and just sitting there thinking. We have conscientia, whatever, secrets, confessions, confidant, she who whispers. And that Scorpio can really be in that secretiveness, that like, what's going on beneath the scenes. It can be suspicious and secretive, and all these complex undercurrents going on all the time. And that's what we want to move out of in humanity. That's drama, that's the soap operas, and you can really live that drama in your own self and in your own life. That's Scorpio South Node. We're not meant to be in the South Node. This is Taurus North Node. We have to remember what we're doing in Taurus North Node. Taurus is understands quality and worth and wants to do something that's fucking worthwhile. It's like, why are we building this piece of shit with all this piece of shit like pieces? But it also is like resourceful, and it's like, well, this is what we have, we're going to make it the best we can make it then, and we're going to make it beautiful, and we're going to paint it ecstatic colors, and it's going to be fantastic and so amazing. And then it ends up being this Aquarius, out of this world thing. And we got this again. So, okay, people are really in the South Node. Get out of the South Node. South Node, psychologizing. When you're psychologizing and up into everybody's, relationship dynamics. What's everybody doing? Why are they doing this? Are they like me? Are they looking at me? All this kind of stuff. It is psychodrama. It is suspicion, distrust, not connecting to people, having too many boundaries up, being very black and white and one-sided. That black and white, all or nothing attitude doesn't allow you to hear anything and listen. It just shuts everything down. It doesn't allow you to be someone who is what you are, capable of discerning in the moment if something's right or wrong for you. You don't have to have a boundary of like, this is forever, this is all the time, this is everything. No, what's the context? It depends on the context. Something might be really fucked up and rude in one context and really hilarious and funny and good in another context. And it's the same exact thing. I mean, poop is gross, but butterflies eat poop. So poop is great. for a butterfly. So it's like, it really depends on the context. Did you know that butterflies eat poop? Because they do. So pretty. Laughter. So I was talking about levity, bringing, that's Taurus, like the now moment, the levity, the chilling, the simple. It's like, what are all the simple, good, amazing stuff in life? This is a North Node. That's all you like. Isn't that crazy that everybody wants to be in that Scorpio South Node, and we're called to just have fun, to build and create, to love, to have beauty, to be in the beauty of life, to have good meals, to have soft fabrics, to like enjoy life, to see the good everywhere, to step into the magic with all the Pisces energy, let go of stress. Are you having fun and joy? Do you think you get to, or are you making up excuses or getting sick to just have to take a break, or to take care of yourself, to be with yourself, to give yourself time? Are you running around frantically? Are you going out into the world and finding fun and enjoyable stuff? And like, that has not always been the easiest thing for me. So I can really relate to how it's weird how you think that'd be so easy, but there's a lot of weird tangles in our subconscious. That's why I coach. That's why I do Alchemical Goddess, because it transforms those weird tangles and brambles inside us that hold us back from like just having fun and realizing the magic and spirit is co-creating every moment and talking to us right there. And we were completely blind to it because those brambles make us blind to it. And it was all right there. That's what we do in Alchemical Goddess. Shit changes, shit's powerful, and you start living the dream life immediately. So come on into a complimentary goddess call if you'd like to. The link's below. And if you'd like to have these shifts and these powerful shifts for free, the Light Goddess podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, the links below, 6 days a week, and there's 349 episodes. So if you listen to it, you will raise frequency and you will get shifts, and it's all for free. So, and we have forgive, which is accepting what is, accepting the past, accepting yourself, accepting your parents, accepting all of the, you know, supposedly bad things that happened, which means going into them and understanding the gifts and the messages and the whys of it, which is what we do in Alchemical Goddess, is transforming that shadow, like looking at, we have to get the gifts of the shadow, otherwise it won't go away. So isn't that crazy? All the supposedly bad shit that happens, the pain loss challenge, it will remain until we actually retrieve the gift of it and we get the lesson, the understanding of it. So that's what's so powerful and beautiful. One step at a time. That's Taurus. It's just like but just plods. It's a plodding. It's like a cow just walking across the field. It takes an hour or something for a cow to walk across the field, but it gets there and is determined, and it just keeps going. So it's one step at a time, and not thinking you can just do it all at once. And there's this fire and the circle in the background, the symbol of the goddess, the rainbow. Just so much powerful, like symbology, whatever, here, just signs and symbols here of this goddess energy and the sacred circle. So if you're looking for, you know, sisterhood and for deep bonds and connection, come into the Light Goddess Sisterhood. The link's below. It's open now, where we're talking about soul mission, keeping each other on track. So where you get to be heard and witnessed, and have women around you curious about you, curious about what you are doing in the world, what you want to do, your dreams, where you sit with yourself as women right now. You get to witness other women and be witnessed and create deep bonds. Happy surprise. So something's very good is on its way. Like, believe in the miracles, believe in the magic, because believing in it is what allows you to have this space holding inside yourself that, like, of course that's the way life is. Like, we really have to realize that we act out our beliefs. So if you don't believe it, then it's not going to be happening to you, because you won't be able to see it when it does. It's not because it's not happening. It's because you won't recognize it when it does and receive it and take it in and be like, yeah, damn, that was my miracle. And there's miracles all the time. Like, there's magic all the time. There's synchronicities all the time. What do you think we're in? The world's ascending. Life is changing. More and more people are awake. We're in more and more love consciousness. The planet's raising its vibration. Like, know that we are creating this parallel society. Like, we are changing things. Things are shifting. Life is amazing. And this year is all about it. And it's going to be one of the harder years for people. And that's why we have to do our work and happy thoughts. So it's like, you know, really, are you managing your mind? We do that in Alchemical Goddess. In coaching, you learn how to manage your mind so that it's not screwing you over and making you perceive life as a shithole when you have magic around you all the time. But also, it's like understanding why you have those thoughts, and it's not just like you have to muscle it and like think good thoughts when you really don't feel that way. It's like really getting in there, and we clear the brambles and the tangles that are keeping those thoughts looping on you. And so it's really feeling happier, creating that experience through understanding what you're thinking and not being in the loops, not being in the cycles of your mind, like catching pattern interrupting, like really realizing that you pattern interrupt your thoughts and that you're creating that powerlessness that you feel. So I got forgiveness to give. It's accepting what is. Only by accepting what has happened can we move to a place where that's not limiting us, blocking us, keeping us just cycling and thinking about it, which is keeping it real and keeping it happening to us in this now moment when it happened 10 years ago, a year ago, 2 months ago. And so we want to actually forgive by accepting